I'm really looking forward to this one, because the narrative is the fact that when Martin Schindler walks on the European stage, it's often to his adoring German crowd. And that interesting dynamic that tonight he is playing the home favourite. Belgium's #1, a major winner, the World Grand Prix champion, who, in fairness, will have to play a lot better than he did last night. Maybe just tried a little bit too hard, but he got over the winning line to set up this mouth-watering clash. For me, Martin Schindler plays his best art on that European stage. A European champion, European Tour champion in 3 countries, in his beloved Germany, in Switzerland and in Austria. Van Dawson, can he add Belgium to that list of achievements?
Well, it looked like he might do at the start of the year when we played in Visa, but it was Mike De Decker who beat him in the last 16. Really good game as well. 103 average from Mike that day, and it was De Decker who went on to reach the final and had the honour of being beaten by Luke Littler in Visa. But this is such an interesting game. There's some real parallels between these two. They're both 29 years old. They've both been around for quite some time. They're both players who showed some promise early. They're playing on the development tour, but it didn't happen for them in senior darts in their first incarnations of themselves. Both of them lost their tour cards. Now, Shindy won his straight back immediately and immediately started making big improvements. Mike De Decker had a year off the tour before he won his back, and then he started to make big improvements. So they're the same age, they've come through the same systems, they've suffered the same things, and they've got to the stages now where they're playing their best stuff of their careers. Now, Schindler has been more consistent, and his successes have come on the Pro Tour and the Euro Tour. De Decker, less consistent, but his high is obviously the World Grand Prix. And because it was such a big tournament, this one, that's opened doors for things like the World Series for the first time this year. So look, there's a lot of parallels. It is number 17 in the world, Schindler, and number 19 in the world, De Decker. It is the closest matched game in terms of the rankings that we've got today. So I just think there's so much interesting stuff with the German #1 and the Belgian #1 here in Belgium tonight.
61.
And nothing to separate on the head-to-head. And when you talk about that moment for Mike De Decker, he's a player I've known for a good decade. I felt he was almost suffocated with the fact that Kim Hybrids and Dimitri van den Berg were doing so well. He was almost the forgotten man. But I commentated on him in round about August last year when he beat Ricky Evans in a Players' Championship final. He just looked a different player. The throws Rolls Royce. If you ever wonder, I know I harp on about throws, if you ever wonder what I'm thinking about with a great throw, then just look at what you're looking on the picture there. Effortless, smooth, relaxed.
Has it changed much, in your opinion, Glenn, from like back in the day? Because he's been playing a long while. He's been in the PDC system for 10 years or so. But has he done much to change it? Certainly Martin Schindler's has changed and evolved a little over the years.
I think all players does evolve, but I think with him now, the added ingredient to that is the belief. It's just
46.
It's just so easy. It's just so effortless. But if you just add the fact that he's a champion, he's a winner. And speaking of winners, Schindler for 140.
Well, their success, both of them, has been built on the fact they are big 180 hitters, 2 of the biggest around. Not with a brilliant scoring leg, truth be told, in the opening one of this. But Martin Schindler will hold his throw if he can see off, and he does.
Martin Schindler.
We talk about players evolving. I think I've said this a couple of times to you, Dan. I had my doubts about Martin Schindler. And then it was almost, when you look at his throw, I think it's almost like that release point is the same every time. He sort of just lifts that dart to the side of his eye there. So he knows every single time, it's almost like you're just touching it just above the eye. Meaning, when I harp on about replication, you know that you're throwing the dart from exactly the same point. And I think that was the turning point for for Martin, sorry.
Yeah, and there we go. There's the first 180. Didn't think it'd take long. He's got to be so much better than he was last night, Mike De Decker. It was a really puzzlingly poor game with Martin Lukeman. It was all set up to be a really good one. And neither man played well. De Decker's won it 6-3. They're both averaged in the low to mid-80s. He's got to be better tonight.
I thought the crowd were insane last night, Dan. I thought it was a wonderful atmosphere.
91.
And I wonder if that was just to the detriment of Mike, who's desperate to do well. I mean, he's done well in Belgium before. I went to his his shot where he practices a lot. They just adore everything he's doing right now.
57. Mikey to go on 170.
Really enjoyed his time at the World Series of Darts as well.
96.
Conversation about should he be in the Premier League. I think he responded to it. I think he wish he hadn't at one point. It will happen.
58.
In my experience, the Belgians, quite like the Dutch, kind of just say what they think, which is good. Can lead to some issues. A little bit of an issue for Mike de Decker here to get past that blocker dart.
And
he's done it expertly.
Martin going first.
Both players will settle now. Those two early ones were just a little bit ropey.
1 hit.
For sure, the best is still to come in this game.
You mentioned the head-to-heads, there's nothing between. It's 4 wins apiece, and that's over, best part of a decade because they've come up through the various systems. I just think that in itself is like, who do you think's better? Mike de Decker has shown he can win a massive tournament. Shindler hasn't done enough. He's made major quarterfinals, but he hasn't gone beyond that yet.
57.
But he's won so much in so many games. The #1 in Europe last year. He's right up there near the top of the rankings this year as well.
96.
He's won more games on the European Tour stage this year than anybody's. 19 wins already is Martin. I like him because I doubted him. I used to stand behind him and think he hasn't got the bottle to see out this game. Boy, have I been proven wrong there. I'd still like him now. I was just looking at his stats at his major tournaments. Very similar to the conversation we had regarding Damon Heta. I think so consistent, so hard-working. But maybe just that one win, a la what Mike de Decker did last year.
Yeah, I think, a lot of people were talking in the same terms about Josh Rock until this year, where he's done semi-final UK Open, semi-final match play and won the World Cup, where he was undoubtedly the MVP in that tournament. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time, but once it does happen, then it can keep on.
And you think it's an advantage playing in front of your home crowd as he looks at this 107. Time on his side. You can just sense that Mike de Decker's averaging in the 70s at the moment. That's not his game right now.
It was a very friendly game of darts, this, because people are just holding their throw under almost no pressure whatsoever. There's a little bit now. But the leg is done.
Martin Schindler. Full leg might throw first. Game.
Almost like the shadow boxing at the moment. But for Martin Schindler in this fourth leg, he can relax a little bit. It's almost like a penalty shootout right now when you hold him through. Now he can relax. Can he find that treble? I mean, not only find it, that's absolutely placed exactly where he wanted it.
140.
Well, the reason these two are two of the biggest 180s around, we've still only seen one so far in this game from them. It's the ability to group the darts so tightly together. Schindler at times looks like peak Whitlock, the way he just crams 3 points on the same micron of the board. But Mike de Decker, he's got those very long, very thin darts, which new this year, and he's talked about not being 100% happy with it. He should be happy with them now. He's been playing with them for months. But when he's getting it right, they do just slide in so closely, tightly knitted together.
Yeah, I've never held a dart until Friday. The longest barrel I think I've ever used. A beautiful, absolutely stunning from Shindler. He leaves the champagne 132. We nearly saw that in the previous game with MVG.
140.
He'll start on the centre of the board.
It's an open ball. It's an open ball.
107.
That was classy.
Mikey
That was a superb
68.
effort. You can see de Decker holding his breath, closed his eyes as he threw the dart. But that 68 was looking inviting a second ago. This tops is a must-hit.
I don't think he wanted the tops. I know he's throwing between the 8 and the 16, but I don't think that's what he wanted. Great dart. Brilliant adjustment from Martin Schindler. We have our first breaker throw in this game. It goes to the German #1, who has at least one supporter in here.
Twice he's done that in the double 10, almost using that first dart as a guide, but this time he had to move to the left-hand side of the hockey. It was a disappointing display from Mike de Decker. I expected him to come out and really put a show on tonight. I really did. James Wade silenced the crowd against Kim Hybrids early in that game. Martin Schindler's done exactly the same right in this match. Got control, he's got the darts. De Decker needs to find something.
And if you'd asked the Belgian crowd which 3 players from their home country did you want to make it through to day 2 and have a chance of reaching the last 16, I'm sure they would have picked Mike de Decker. I think they'd have picked Hybrex, as he's a home city after all. As de Decker hits his second max. And I think Mario van der Behaarde is probably the one, the third in terms of who's playing the best darts. Dimi's obviously popular, but he's not having a great time of it now. But de Decker's in danger, Hybrex has already gone, and Mario van der Behaarde has got a very tough game against Johnny Clayton.
Yeah, the support was wonderful. Something you called yesterday afternoon, actually. It's almost revered here, and he's the type of player you don't particularly want to play in front of a home crowd, but you would have said that about de Decker. Now, Jan van Veen suddenly found something against Michael van Gerwen with an 11-darter. It was roundabout now in the match as well. Exactly the same what Mike de Decker's done. That was the spark that Jan van Veen needed. Is it what Mike de Decker needs?
Well, the standard has got a little bit better as the legs have gone on. It was a slow start to this one, but if they can both get going, we could be in for a heck of a climax to this game.
57.
That frustrates as a player, Dan. When you do the hard work of the 11 dart at the break, and then you go with a dart and you go trebleless, and then when he turns around and sees this,
180.
First 180 for Schindler, and there's the example of the grouping. A lot of players that was so low in the bed they wouldn't be able to cram another one in there. There's always room for Shindy.
really relaxed on the walk, and he was engaged and he was singing the song with the crowd.
58.
Clearly in those first couple of legs of the pair of them, they were feeling it. There was a 15-darter in that second one for de Decker. I thought that might have been something to get him going.
58.
I'd say another parallel between these two. They've always been in the shadow of other players in the nation. You mentioned that it's always been Dimi and Kim, as far as Mike's concerned. Even Ronnie Hybrex before that. But for Martin Schindler, it was always Max Hopp. And then Gabriel Clemens leapfrogged him to be the big name in German darts. But now it's these two's time. They are the main men from their home countries. And I think Schindler, I think, certainly wears it absolutely fantastic.
And sometimes it's not a bad thing, because you can do your apprenticeship. Once again, you get a conversation, they'll look like they're going to hit the big finishes, but the treble 16 would have left tops. 72, taking control, because this is on the throw of de Decker, and this is on the back of the 11 darter from de Decker.
Martin requires 72.
Good response from Shindy.
Double 16. Another one just there. On at tops.
52. Am I going to go 130?
Well, the crowd want it. De Decker wants it. It's bullseye.
99.
Take of the head, didn't like that. Seemed to
20.
veer alarmingly downwards. One just outside. This is inside. And double five, not there for him.
It's like a symphony. I was holding the batten up. I thought that second dart was going to go. Opportunity knocks here for de Decker. Big dart, this double 14.
17.
Uncharacteristically lurchy, that last one from Mike de Decker.
Nice
adjustment.
Martin Schindler.
I said earlier, there's always room for Martin Shindler, but there was plenty of room there. But I'm not sure how much of a marker those were, because he could have crammed that between the wire and those marker darts. He's gone for a different bit of the bed and hit it.
Dart of the match. He knew exactly what the situation was. Dealt with those first two darts. There was a little bit of a reaction there, but it was a beauty.
95.
It is Jan van Veen who awaits the winner of this one. We are going to see one of the brightest young stars in world darts taking on a national #1. But will it be the German or will it be the Belgian? A minute the German has the advantage, but it's a game which hasn't been as high quality as perhaps you might expect. He may trail 4-2, but if Mike de Decker suddenly clicks into gear, a bit like Van Veen did, then this is salvageable, certainly.
Just listening to the fact that the winner plays Jan van Veen. He doesn't get it easy in Belgium, does he, Mike de Decker? Because when he did get to that final, Ross Smith is his first round game with Gerwin Price and Luke Humphries and Martin Shindler. He ain't getting it easy.
402.
Frustration for Martin Shindler. Even an extra 20 points would have made the next shot a load easier, but he might not get another crack. He might not for the 170. Is that what Mike de Decker needed to get himself going in this one? Antwerp on its feet.
What a moment. Just listen to that crowd. Let me tell you, it's absolutely rocking in here. What a finish. We saw it yesterday. He reels the 170, and you can see the determination in his face. Shindy, it was all the catalyst of problems that first start on the 176. It just sat low. He had the bounce out. Mike could relax. Smack bang in the middle. Great moment for de Decker.
96.
The Nuggets jumping.
434.
170 was the golden nugget. After that first, I'd be disappointed if it's not, at least not a 140. Just a look around at the scores there. This is warming up very, very nicely. Never mind the numbers in this game. This is classic match play.
140. 57.
Just when you think one of them's getting going, drops off, and Mike de Decker is winning legs 15, 11 and 12, world class. But there's just not enough to back it up. They don't all have to be 11 and 12 darters, but you've still got to be knocking in 16s and 17s, or at least have the chance of doing so.
Been outscored once again here from Shindler. Schindler's biggest problems has been the doubles. 4 from 14 of that outer ring.
Martin required 92.
92 and his opponent. He can be aggressive. No even thought, just part of treble 20. 72 decisions. Just a big 20. Don't hit the treble.
52.
I think it's questionable board management there. I know if he'd got the treble, he gets on at the double, but you can see you're always running the risk of hitting the blocker dart. You could bust it. You could throw out the board like Dirk van Dijvenbode did earlier on.
Decision making up there is never the easiest, but it was the right decision in the end. Schindler goes once away and once again silences the home crowd.
Game.
13 darter, that's his best leg of the match, Martin Schindler. He will now throw for the match. 3 Belgians in action tonight. 1 has been beaten already. The Belgian #1 might be about to lose here, and then it is all on Mario van der Mahada in the final game of the night. See if any host nation representation will be in the last 16 tomorrow afternoon.
I have to say he's up against Johnny Clayton, who is playing some beautiful darts. The way he's bounced back, and he looks like he's ready to win big again.
45.
Slack return there from Schindler. It's almost like they're just passing it to each other. He's had pretty much control throughout this game. I think whatever happens, De Decker will be disappointed that he hasn't really put a show on.
Hands the initiative back to De Decker. There's been good moments in this game, but no sustained spell of excellence.
I was asked at the beginning of the day which game stood out. It was this one. Far from a classic, it's drama-ridden.
435. I could have gone
Still to go. Mike De Decker has to break Martin Schindler twice in the last 3 legs. It's a tough ask, but he has got control of this leg. Could do with a treble.
60.
140 or a 136. Mike De Decker got a real problem.
100.
Tons enough to certainly worry the real deal.
Shindler will fancy that. Talk about this type of finish for these players, but he needs a treble. It's treble 16 he needs, he gets it. The double top.
87. Martin, you require 76.
Is that it for Belgium #1? Match starts. Martin Schindler. And the wall ends De Decker's hopes on home soil. A 6-3 win for the German #1 as the Belgian #1 is beaten in the second round. It all comes down to the final game of the night now for the fans here in Antwerp. Huybrechts has gone, De Decker has joined him, Mario van den Behaarde, the last host nation hope. He faces Johnny the Ferret Clayton in the final game of the night.